Hi there. Lester Fields here. Having just survived a wild mongrel attack, I stumble upon Camp McClintock. There are many recreational camps scattered around the area, but this one seems to be a military encampment. There aren't any people here, and that seems to be a running theme. But there are lots of working Mr. Gutsies.
Chrome-coated Christmas. What are you doing here, cadet? Get your tail up to the Master Sergeant now!
Laughably, I'm mistaken for a new recruit. These Sergeant Gutsies direct me to find a Master Sergeant, who I was pretty sure would also be a robot. My friend CB is with me today, and we both head to the main building in camp. Heading up a stairway, I find an office where, sure enough, a Mr. Gutsy, labeled as Master Sergeant, is waiting.
Well, what do we have here? Your ununiformed flesh disgusts me, cadet. I don't even want to look at you until you're donning the standard issue fatigues and helmet. What in the holy name of... You are out of uniform, cadet. And with no uniform voucher, you will return in Army fatigues and helmet, or you will not return at all!
He tasks me with rounding up fatigues and a helmet and mentions something about a uniform voucher. I begin my search and quickly come upon an army helmet, but no fatigues. CB and I make our way to the barracks where, inside a duffel bag, I find that uniform voucher. Then I run back into the main building to a vending machine I spotted earlier. It's a uniform dispenser, and using the voucher nets me some dirty army fatigues and a dirty helmet. I disregard the dirty helmet, as I picked up a nice clean one just a little while ago, but I do put on the fatigues, as the Master Sergeant directed me.
Dispenser still works. Well, one less thing to check off, I suppose.
I laugh at the quartermaster's surprise that the dispenser still works, and head on back up to the Master Sergeant.
Now that's what I like to see. All dolled up and ready to die for your country. There are 3 training exercises you'll need to complete. Marksmanship, agility, and patriotism. Our courses, like all things in the great territory of Appalachia, are automated, so you over-promoted mammals can do them as you see fit. Complete the courses to my satisfaction, and we'll get you moved on to the real test. Dismissed!
It looks as if CB and I have been drafted. There are 3 exercises we need to complete, and I head off in the direction of the first one, which is an agility test.
I heard that Jenny Baker was the five-time You ready to run your heart out for your country? Pummel each obstacle into submission, and win the respect that's clearly eluded you up to this point. Begin!
I'm presented with an obstacle course that I need to complete within about a minute and 54 seconds.
Clear! On to the next one.
It isn't easy climbing over, under, around, and through the various parts of the course.
Time to waste it, cadet! Get going! Check that one off! Next one up! Last one! Get up there!
But eventually I pass.
Now that's a time you can be proud of. Well done, cadet. Now, just 2 more exercises to go. Throw those airlocks in hoof mode and get moving!
The Master Sergeant gives me words of encouragement as I set off for the next task.
Lock and load, cadet. Time to take those targets to school.
It's not long before I'm standing in front of a firing range for the marksmanship exercise. This one too is timed, and I've got about 30 seconds to shoot all the targets here. It takes me several tries, but I get it done. Now just one more course to complete. Patriotism. But what could that be? Accessing the terminal, I read that 3 cadets are accused of being budding communists, but only one is the real culprit. And I've got to determine which one by means of interrogation and evidence collection. First, I question Jan Jun.
This area is way different from San Francisco. The winters are so cold. This country gave my family a fresh start. Someday, I'm gonna own my own car, or 2. Was there anything else, sir, or madam? I love America! This area is way
There's
different from
nothing
San
overtly
Francisco.
communist in what he
So
says,
cold.
and there isn't much to search in his room, so I move on to talk to Jimmy.
My favorite holiday? Well, that'd have to be the 4th of July. Well, yeah, my pop's in the Union. Why do you ask? My terminal keeps me company while Pop is at the mine. I needed a new password, so I used the initials of someone I admire a lot. Am I free to go? I love America. My favorite holiday?
His
Well, that'd have to
verbiage
be
sounds
the
very
4th of July.
patriotic, but I just don't know. Searching his room, I find the password to his terminal and then access the machine. There's evidence here that Jimmy was susceptible to communist rhetoric from a teacher talking about the working class, and then he organized a strike at his father's job in the mine. It's clear who the communist sympathizer is, and I don't even bother to interrogate the 3rd cadet. Going back to the terminal, I accuse Jimmy and pass the exercise.
Impressive work, cadet. We'll have you putting collectivists in chains faster than a red can cry. Right, through those chains? Now that you can walk, talk, and shoot, it's
Immediately, the Master Sergeant directs me towards the live fire course. Accessing the terminal here, I start up the final challenge, eliminating the communist menace. CB and I defeat wave after wave of communist robots, decked out in red, of course. But then,
Oh no! It looks like system error. Cadets, I'm thinking if I were you, last exercise is gonna be bumpy.
the Master Sergeant warned that this last bit could get bumpy, and he wasn't lying. I'm now face to face with a level 22 legendary communist trooper. This thing soaks up damage from my weapon, and I go through several stim packs, but eventually CB and I take it down. I even loot a nocturnal guitar sword from it.
My men are gonna be picking servos out of the trees for weeks after that display. Those commies out there ain't got a prayer. Nicely done. Now, if that was anyone's last training exercise, you're to check in with me ASAP so we can get your graduation paperwork sorted. Fall out!
At last, we return to the Master Sergeant.
Well, well. My sensors tell me you're not nearly as dead as I expected. Impressive, cadet. Or should I say, private. You are now an official member of the United States Army. Get out there and do us proud, soldier. You are dismissed.
And just like that, CB and I are now privates in the U.S. Army. Making my way back to my camp for a little R&R, I end today's campaign against communism. But I'll be back for more Appalachian adventures very soon. Until then, thanks so much for watching.